So this meeting is being recorded by the town of Great Barrington, by CTSB, by the Berkshire Edge and Berkshire Eagle. Any member of the public wishing to speak at the meeting must receive permission of the chair. The listing of agenda items are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. So we'll start with a roll call because it's a virtual meeting. Ben.
Here.
Garfield.
Here.
Eric.
Here.
And Steve Bannon here. Select board's announcements or statements. Ben.
Nothing from me today.
Garfield.
Nothing.
Eric.
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
And nothing for me. Thank you. Number one is to endorse a letter of support under new business for an application to the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness MVP program for community engagement, planning, and design of Old Maids Park in Housatonic. Chris, do you want to give a little overview?
Sure. The select board may be familiar with the state's MVP program. It's a program that we've used with great success 4 times now. 1 planning grant, 3 action grants. The 2 most recent being for Lake Mansfield. That involved a community engagement piece, which we think went really well. What we'd like to do now is turn our attention to Old Maids Park in Housatonic. Park we've been discussing for quite some time, and we think there may be some opportunities for improvement there, particularly with the new 20-home development that Habitat for Humanity is doing up there. So we'd like to get some funds for community engagement and plan out some improvements for that park. It's one of the few places in Great Barrington, few places in South County that has public access to water. So important in a warming climate. It's not fully accessible. We think there's some improvements that can be made. So we'd like your letter of support. We're seeking support from other partners, Housatonic Valley Association, a number of other partners who we are hopeful can work with us if we are successful.
Eric, do you want to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the MVP support letter.
And you'll have a second.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I'd just like to say that very happy that this has been written up, and I know these grants are a lot of work, and I really appreciate everybody that's been working on this. Old Maids definitely need some attention, and it's a hidden gem that could use some love. So I'm really happy that this effort's being put forward. Thank you.
Yeah, agreed.
Just to echo Eric's statement, and I think it's just a really valuable resource for town and Housatonic in particular. So thank you for putting the time in for this, Chris.
We'll definitely work with the improvement committee as we move forward, if we're funded.
Great, terrific. So it's a roll call vote. Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
And aye, it's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris, for bringing this forward.
Thank you.
Next is the update from Community Paradigm Associates and the chair of the Town Manager Screening Committee is. So we have here Bernie Lynch and we have Marie Ryan. Bernie, I'll turn it over to you.
Great, thank you, Steve. Great to see be with all the board members here tonight to make this presentation to you. And I'm glad you noted that Marie's present here for this. I had an opportunity to work with a great group of volunteers on the Town Manager Screening Committee, and I think we have a couple of good candidates for you to look at. But let me walk you through. And my apologies to Garfield with I'm using a PowerPoint here, but I'll be reading from it to a great extent. So I'm just going to share this if I could. Bear with me for 1 second. Let me get this set up. So this is a presentation to the select board tonight on the, where we are with the town manager search. I think at the outset, I just want to note that, as I'm sure Marie will attest, It is a very challenging environment right now to hire town managers. It's very much a seller's market. There's been such a turnover of town manager positions in the Commonwealth and really around the country, largely as a result of the generational shift as a large cohort of managers have resigned due to retirement, left their positions. There hasn't necessarily been the candidate pools behind them to fill many of these positions. So towns are really grappling. I'm sure you've seen that out in the Berkshire. It's been several positions that have been made available over the past couple of years, and communities are facing some challenges to fill those positions. And that really goes across the Commonwealth. We've been doing this now for since 2016, manager searches. We've done about 125 of them around the Commonwealth, and we've seen a drop off in the number of candidates and particularly the number of highly qualified candidates applying for these positions. So that's been a challenge that many communities have been facing. Obviously, Great Barrington and some of the other communities in the Berkshires have additional challenges given its location relative to other employment centers and the reality that many people are in dual income households, and there need to be job opportunities for spouses as well as, in many cases, as well as the individuals pursuing these positions. So it adds to the challenge in really filling these. But let me just kind of walk through where we've been in terms of the search. We were engaged by the town back in December, and we got, of course, we had the opportunity to work with the town several years ago when Mark had been hired. So we're certainly familiar with Great Barrington, and we were able to build upon some of that knowledge. But clearly, it's not the same Great Barrington today that it was when Mark was hired by the town. A whole new set of challenges, a whole new set of issues that need to be addressed, as well as new opportunities to be embraced and pursued. So we immediately got to work talking to members of the board, talking to stakeholders in the town, particularly the department heads, conducting the necessary research. You have some great documents that we were able to pull together to help us understand where the town is right now. Had an opportunity to spend quite a bit of time coming up to speed with Mark before he left the town. And you have some, as I said, some great documents that lay out the priorities and issues facing the town that we were able to depend upon. Many of them driven by a large level of or high level of community engagement, which added to their benefit to us. From all of this, we developed a position profile, and we were able to get that out on the street in mid-January, in which we advertised. We posted the position and circulated it, posting with the Massachusetts Municipal Association, as you would anticipate that we would, utilizing their job board. Posted with the International City and County Management Association, which gave us a national presence. Also tied in with the ICMA, with the International City Management and County Association, we linked in with the Women Leading Government organization. There's an affiliate group here in Massachusetts that we're tied in with, but we wanted to be able to, again, sort of focus in nationally with women that are interested in serving in local government. We also worked with the Boston chapter of the National Forum for Black Public Administrators to spread the word that this position was available. We have a number of other locations that we post the position, most prominently the graduate programs in public administration that exist here in the Commonwealth and the region. Not necessarily looking for new graduates of the program, but looking for alumni that go to those job boards by those universities to see if we could tap in that way. We also utilize our own database of potential applicants, largely consisting of all of the city and town managers and the assistants here in the Commonwealth. And we also have a number of other people that we're familiar with, largely as a result of the searches we've done throughout the state over these past 9 years, but also people that have been in touch with us, interested in serving in local government in these types of positions, and they've reached out to us to make sure they're on our radar if positions open up. And then, of course, we're very involved. A couple members of us in the Community Paradigm team are very involved with the Suffolk University Mass Municipal Association Local Government Certificate Program, which is trying to create the next generation of municipal managers here in the Commonwealth. So we utilize all those resources to get the position out there in people's in front of people. And then we did our own extensive candidate-specific outreach, reaching out directly to most, if not all, of the administrators in the Berkshire County area, as well as just over the line into neighboring communities, the state of New York, to try to get people interested in this position. And then people that we know are interested in a position, as I say, interested in positions like this, and that we thought would be a good match for Great Barrington. Our deadline for applications was February 18th. And at such time, we were able to step back, review the pool. We had 15 candidates, initial applicants. The screening committee reviewed the pool and selected 5 candidates for interviews. And these candidates that were chosen by the committee, the choice was made based upon their work experience in municipal government, their employment history, where they had been and what they had done in those positions, how well they were able to match their experience through their cover letter and their resume to the position statement and the needs of Great Barrington. And then we also had to consider adherence to the charter requirements that you have in Great Barrington that I'll speak to in a second. We did have one withdrawal, but we moved forward with the 4 interviews that we had. I mentioned the charter requirements. You do have language within your charter that spells out the specific qualifications that are needed in order to be appointed to the position of town manager. And it reads, the town manager shall have a bachelor's degree in public administration or a similar discipline and shall have 5 years of full-time paid experience in a supervisory administrative position in municipal government. A master's degree may be substituted for not more than 2 years of paid experience. So this, we depended upon this in order to assess the candidates and determine which ones were appropriate to move forward. And we had those 5 that we initially chose, and then ultimately it came to the 4. We moved forward to interview those 4 over the span of a day that the screening committee met. And the interview topics that were focused in on were the getting a sense of their overall career and their interest in Great Barrington, why they were interested in being the town manager of Great Barrington, and why they felt they would be successful in the position. We discussed their leadership and management style and their level of collaboration and ability to work and build an effective municipal team. We discussed collaboration and consensus building, particularly in almost every community now. That, we all are going to run into situations and issues in which there may not be total agreement. We wanted to get a sense from the individuals that we were interviewing as to how they go about building that collaboration and building consensus to move a community forward. Another issue that's very prominent in municipal government right now and at all levels of government is citizen relations and government transparency, really building upon the notion of trust in local government and confidence in what the government is doing on behalf of the residents. Tied in with that is we had discussions with the candidates of how they would become more engaged in the community as town manager, and whether they would be building upon that level of community engagement that we know is very important in Great Barrington. And so we wanted to talk to them about that and understand how they would carry that out within the town. So largely, the first part of our interviews was very much geared towards relationship building, which is a key part of really of leadership within the municipal sector. Then we started getting into more the nuts and bolts of the position, financial management and capital planning, particularly given the budget conditions that most communities are facing right now. We wanted to understand their perspective on how they put together a budget and how they would manage in these difficult financial times, and their understanding of municipal finance. We spent time talking about project management and infrastructure in particular, given the town's issues with its bridges and its the water issues that you're facing. So we spent a considerable amount of time talking to them about that. Economic development and community character. Almost every community would like to see more growth, but every community also wants to retain its community character. And Great Barrington is particularly strong in this area, given the strong community character that you have. We wanted to make sure they understood the importance of, and we understood from them their experience and background in moving forward with community development, but being done in a way that is consistent with where the community wants to go, the utilization of master plans, strategic planning to make that happen. And then we spent a little bit of time talking about their personnel management experience, handling employee issues, particularly related to motivation, evaluation, succession planning, recruiting and retaining staff, and then what experience they had with collective bargaining and their role at the bargaining table. And then lastly, swinging back to relationships, obviously the executive side of any local government really depends upon a good relationship of the candidates or of the town manager with the select board in order to move the town forward and implement the goals of the elected body of the select board. So we wanted to understand how they saw that relationship moving forward. Based upon all of that, the committee had its deliberations, considered their background of the candidates, their municipal knowledge, their experiences in their other communities and how that related to Great Barrington's needs and priorities, their interest and enthusiasm for the position and for the town. Certainly someone can have all of the technical skills and knowledge, but we wanted to make sure that they were truly interested and enthusiastic about the position and the town. And then a match to the position statement and the charter requirements. They all met the charter requirements, and the committee considered whether they had the background that matched necessarily to the position statement. In the end, the committee chose 3 candidates to move forward. Regrettably, one of the candidates did withdraw early today, about late morning, which gives us 2 finalists to bring forward to you. Regrettably, this is a trend that we're seeing, and other people in municipal government are seeing across the board, that at the end of these processes, people are backing out of the interview process to move forward. So we have 2 finalists to bring for you at this time. And if I could just talk a little bit about each one of them. The first is Angie Ellison. These are in alphabetical order. Angie has a graduate certificate in local government leadership and management from Suffolk University, that program that I discussed earlier. She has a Master of Arts in American Studies from UMass Boston, and a BA in political science from Southeastern Massachusetts University. She served almost 3 years as the town administrator of Fairhaven. Fairhaven is a community down the southeast coast. It's still going through some growing pains, if you will, with a new charter that they put in place several years back. But Angie spent, as I say, almost 3 years there. Prior to that, she served as the chief administrator officer in North Adams, serving with the mayor there. And prior to that, she served as the town manager of Uxbridge, and encountered some financial issues there that with some things that had happened prior to her coming on that she was had to face and grapple with, and she will be willing to talk about that in her interview. Most of her experience, she'd also served as the town administrator of Blandford for a short period of time. She has served in elected office in her hometown of Sturbridge, but most of her professional experience is in higher education, working for universities here in the Commonwealth. So she comes in with that large organization experience, the local experience as being an elected official, and then her direct experience as a municipal manager in Blandford, Uxbridge, North Adams, and Fairhaven. So she's got some good experience there that she'll be able to speak to. Mark Strange is your second candidate. He has a law degree from Western New England University School of Law, a BS in marketing from Syracuse University. He's currently the town administrator of Ludlow, Massachusetts. Prior to that, he'd served as the director of planning and community development for Agawam. He did that for about 7 years. And he was in private practice in his own law office for just about a year on his own. Prior to that, he'd served as working for the state for the unemployment bureau or division, and has some other experience related to his law degree. But focusing in on his last three, similar to Angie, Ludlow, Agawam, and his own private practice. Like Angie, he has served as an elected official in Long Meadow in his hometown. He's served on the select board there. So again, has that experience on both sides of the table as the elected official, but also as a municipal manager. So those are your two candidates. The next steps, the reference reviews are beyond underway, as indicated in this slide. I've actually forwarded to the board a packet of information regarding each of the finalists that includes their candidate materials, which is their cover letter and resumes, the summaries of the comments that we've received from the references that they provided to us. I've also provided you with an interview guide, which is some draft questions, very similar topics. So all the topics that we do pretty much across the board with all of our communities and filling town manager positions, the topics are generally the same. They vary in minor ways, town by town. The questions themselves that tie to the topics are specific to the community. And then we generally try to advocate an interview process that's more of a dialogue with the candidates. So beyond the questions, we have some suggested additional probes that you may want to look at when think of when you're listening to the candidates give their responses. And obviously, it's not limited to those. The probes are intended to be drilling down into what the candidates have spoken of in their responses. And again, we want this to be a dialogue between the finalists or the candidates and the board. I've also provided to you a summary of what we'll refer to as prohibited questions. Obviously, there are certain questions that relate to age, marital status, gender, sexual orientation, race, that should not be asked. So we've sent all that on to you as well. We are working with Chris on setting up some department head meetings with the candidates. And the plan is to have the interview with the board on April 15th. And I believe the plan is to have the board make its selection on the 22nd. We would recommend, and will recommend this at that time, that any selection that you make is made contingent upon successful negotiation of an employment agreement and any additional background checks as required. And then upon that vote, you would enter into negotiations with the choice of the board to work on an employment agreement. And I would anticipate that you would have someone on board probably 30 to 60 days following that vote. So those are that's where we are. Happy to take any questions or comments. And if I don't want to, Maria's chaired the citizen committee, that's town manager screening committee. If Marie wants to add anything at this point.
Well, I think you covered it pretty well, but I'm certainly happy to answer any questions if anybody has them of me.
Anyone raise your hand? Eric or Ben?
I just want to say thank you for leading this search process and doing all this work. I guess the one thing I'm worried about with this is with the time frame that we're on right now, are you confident that both of these candidates will still be available by the end?
I believe they will. Yeah, that's again, a great question. You always have to worry about that. We're familiar with pretty much all of the searches that are going on right now in the state, and I don't. You may see these names floating around in some of those, but I think it's Great Barrington is in a spot where it will be able to make its decision ahead of the other communities.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
I guess just happy that just started to pick through this packet today, picked it up earlier. Really appreciate Bernie, everything you've done, and just want to say thank you to the selection committee, because I know it's probably a lot of hard work and sifting through it all. So excited to dive into this and hopefully I'm sure we have two good candidates in front of us and looking to learn more about them. So thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, great. Garfield, go ahead. Garfield, go ahead. Just unmute yourself. Just unmute yourself, Garfield.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Are we allowed to ask how long they feel like they can be committed to this position?
Yes, I think we can work that into the first question, really, of what they or somewhere in the questions. Even the last question is to how they see Great Barrington in their overall career trajectory, how long they would anticipate that they would be staying in this position if selected.
Okay.
Anything else, Garfield?
Yeah, one other thing. I guess there was one other gentleman. I think it was a gentleman that had worked had been a select board member. Is that correct?
Mark Strange has been a select board member.
Okay.
Yes.
So he obviously knows that role. Do you know if the other person had any deal? I think she was with a mayor at one point, or worked with the mayor in North Adams.
Right. She worked with the mayor in North Adams, and I know she was on the school committee. And I have to pull her resume up whether she had been a member of the select board too in Sturbridge. But I know she was on the school committee in Sturbridge.
Okay, I was just wondering also if she had any experience with working with a select board or with a select board.
Absolutely. In Fairhaven, Uxbridge, Blandford, she did. She's worked with select boards.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Is there a question from the audience, Bernie? I'll take it. James, do you have a question?
Good evening. This is James Garzone, 84 North Lane Road. Since a third person dropped, can't we have the fourth person brought into the process so we still have three? Question.
That would have to be a decision of the screening committee as to whether they would be. I can only bring in what the screening committee. We can only bring in what the screening committee decided, and at the time they determined that were the three and now just the two were ready to come forward. They were ready to bring forward, but that's certainly something that could be done at a depending upon how things go with these two candidates.
Anyone else? Eileen? Just,
Can
yep.
you make the resumes available?
Uh,
Please?
They are available. They've been sent to the select board's office, and they are available.
Okay, can the selectmen please send them to the media?
We will do that. We'll have Natalie do that tomorrow, Chris.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one. Select board, any final questions, Bernie? So the meetings would be Tuesday, April 15th at 5 o'clock for the two interviews. And the discussion and vote will be on Tuesday, April 22nd at 5 p.m.
Sounds good.
All right,
Okay,
great.
Bernie, Marie, thank you very much.
If I could, just one last thing, if
Of course.
as the board members go through their packets of information in preparation for that meeting, if there's any questions regarding the candidates or questions regarding the materials that we sent with the questions and so on, feel free to reach out to me by email, phone. I'm pretty much always available to speak with you or to interact to get you the information you need. So.
Great, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Bernie.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving ahead, citizen speak time. Seeing no one, select board time. Ben,
Just another thank you to Bernie, Marie, and everyone who served on the search committee.
yes. Garfield,
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to know, I'm kind of like a paper person. Chris, can you get me that packet so I can have it to read as opposed to on my screen?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Eric,
All set, thank you.
again, thank you to the screening committee and to Community Paradigm. So we have a little ways to go, but we're making progress. Thank you. Any media time? Seeing none, we are adjourned by unanimous consent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.